the 2K Sports pregame show.
Okay, basketball fans, with me, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. You're watching 2K Sports, but you know that already. In this game, we'll see Baltimore against the Lakers.
Got rabid Los Angeles fans packed inside the Staples Center. Thanks for joining us as we get set to bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. And a wonderful surprise for all of you tonight. We're sitting along courtside with legendary Kobe Bryant. Kobe, thanks for joining us.
No, thank you, man. Thank you for letting me be a part of the team.
You're still a fan, aren't you, even though you're retired?
100%.
And speaking of the trade, I spoke to him earlier, and man, was he excited about getting the opportunity at a fresh start. He thinks he'll be able to get them to that next level, and I'm sure that's what their thought process was when they made the deal.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the floor for Baltimore, they've got Mason. He's out there with Ulis. Isaiah Thomas out there with J.J. Barea. And it's Van Vliet in at the 4. Here is Barea after the basket by the Lakers. Ulis can't get it to go. Kobe, a lot of teams now playing a more spread-out offensive style. You played with a spread 4 and Robert Horry and R. Odom. You also played with more of a twin tower feel on your roster. Which way would you lean when you think about those different styles?
That doesn't matter to me.
You like them all?
Yeah, it just depends on the personnel that you have.
Right.
And with the personnel that you have, you make the most out of it.
That puzzle you keep talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just, every puzzle's built differently.
Right.
Right? And you just try to do what you can with what you have. So it doesn't matter.
And you like that figuring out process.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Even though you're the same, you've got to kind of adapt now what's on your roster.
Yeah, you have to be able to adapt to the players that you have around you, you know, and understanding what they need. It's not what you need. It's what do they need. And as long as the leader of the team can make that shift, they'll be fine with whatever they have in their roster.
Great description.
You got to love the intensity. Cousins going right for the throat and just jamming that one home.
Mason kicks to Van Vliet. And stolen by Kuzma. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break. Again, the Lakers.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
Here's Ulis. James Harden picking up that last basket. Ulis looking it over. 4 on the clock. Mason for 3. That shot is off. And the Lakers going the other way now. Here's Cousins. Again, Los Angeles.
Fruitful possession. Just doing what they can to extend the lead.
Yeah, that's tremendous efficiency there. I mean, you like seeing them put together these types of plays.
Timeout is called. First of the game for Baltimore.
And with the tide running against them, needs to talk it over with his guys.
You're exactly right. Halting the other team's run momentarily. Let's see what he comes up with now, Greg.
Well, so much great defense has come from the shooting guard position over the years. And here's a rundown of the players wreaking havoc at that spot this year. James Harden, 3rd.
And this is a very intense group. I mean, those steals don't come by accident. I mean, they've gotten them through the effort, and they're willing to expend that kind of energy on that aspect of the game.
Well, the most active hands in the league, I think, belong to those fellas right there. I mean, that is one pesky bunch of pickpockets.
Here's Ingram. Knocks it loose.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Outside Thomas. 44 seconds left to play in the first. Shots good from Mason.
Yes, you do. That pass on point on time. Thomas good at putting his teammates in the position to score.
Harden kicks to Ingram. Pass to Cousins. And Cousins throws it down.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And the pass to Mason. Back to Barea. Passes it to Van Vliet. Cousins pulls it in.
I still can't believe that one didn't fall.
The shot misses. DeMarcus Cousins, he's been the guy making things happen for Los Angeles. Scoring, rebounding. One of the most talented big men in the game, DeMarcus Cousins, talked to...
And a player that thought he knew it all.
And you know, Greg, you see it on the floor now. When Cousins keeps his emotions in check, he's a force on the floor.
And Kevin, that's the key. When he's focused on the game and not the refs, he is almost unstoppable.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And taking a look at the Lakers' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing in the game?
Just playing suffocating defense. That's been the difference here for them.
You know, Greg, I love watching this team get after it on defense. I mean, they play with a bit of edge and nastiness.
Brandon Ingram's out there with Harden. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins. Then it's Enes Kanter. And it's Kuzma in at the 3 slot. That's the group for the Lakers to start the second quarter. And Kobe, who is an early voice in your ear as you were just beginning your NBA career, who offered the kind of guidance and advice that you go back and look on and say, you know, that was huge for me to hear those words?
Oh, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. He was extremely gracious.
Was he
my
really?
second year in the league, he said, listen, anything you need, just reach out. And to this day, I reach out, hits me right back. We'll have great conversations. We talk about family and things of that nature. But when I was playing, things were very tactical. You know, I'd ask him specific questions about specific moves or a specific rotation, and he'd give me great insight.
I would love to have heard some of those conversations. You and Michael Jordan in the crux of your career.
Yeah.
I bet those were interesting.
No, it was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah.
13 feet away, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Well, Kobe, you're known as one of the greatest Lakers of all time. I know you feel there are a lot of guys in that first line of the sentence, right?
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Guys that I've watched growing up. I mean, listen, I go all the way back to the days of Pollard and Mikan, and I've watched them all, let alone the Baylors, you know, the Chamberlains, the Jabbars, the Worthies. I mean, it's just...
What names?
I mean, what franchise has those?
No one.
Right? I mean, if you look up in the rafters and you see all the jerseys that are hanging up there, they're not some of the all-time Laker greats. They're some of the all-time greats, period. Right? And so to be a part of that franchise is just mind-blowing.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Kyle Kuzma had a tough upbringing in Flint, Michigan. He said they had the recession, lead in the water. It was like an urban war zone. We probably moved 14 times before I was 16. Basketball was my key. And his drive to succeed in the NBA was born of a desire to escape that environment. Kevin?
A tremendous work ethic, David. Thank you. A nice shot by Barea.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
Yeah, it looks like they've gained a little bit of confidence as the lid has come off the hoop.
Mason against Harden. Tries to save it. Baltimore with the rebound. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
And their defense practically non-existent in that one. Just gave up far too many easy shots.
Yeah, I think they were totally checked out, Greg. At least that's what it looked like. When you play that kind of defense, you expect to lose.
Pass to Cousins. Here's Ingram. Here's Kanter. Down it goes, his third basket. He's now 3 for 4.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
I'd like to give a big thank you once again to Kobe Bryant for coming by, and feel free anytime to drop by and join our broadcast.
Thank you, man. It's been wonderful. Thank you for having me.
You know, Clark, thinking back on Kobe's legacy to the Lakers and how great of an impact he had in that team, very few players have that kind of relationship with a franchise.
And you know, Kevin, with free agency, it's getting more and more rare for a player to spend their entire career with one team as Kobe did with the Lakers. I have a special place in my heart for those kind of guys, a one franchise superstar. And not to begrudge guys for going elsewhere and playing for multiple teams, but it does certainly make it a little more special when you see guys the ilk of Kobe play with only one team.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. Mason kicks to Barea, and he drops that one in. Barea's got 6. The Lakers with the ball, outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Chicago.
Yeah, they couldn't do any better than a shooting percentage in the low 30s on that night, guys, and that's pretty much a death sentence.
Yeah, I can't name a team that's going to find a way to win shooting like that. I mean, they never had a chance with the touch they had that night.
That one's in there. The Lakers lead is cut down now to just 12 on the basket from Ulis. And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Boy, a lot of energy in this arena. It was DeMarcus Cousins who got hot in the first. He had 8 points and 5 rebounds. And taking a look at the Lakers, Shaq, what'd you think?
The area where they impressed me the most has been on the boards. When the shot's gone up, everybody goes for it. Just a matter of maintaining.
And that wraps up the...
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. You look at DeMarcus Cousins, what a contribution.
Oh, well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here so far.
And, you know, Greg, I like how they've set the pace. There's a lot of time left in this one, so there's no rush. You don't have to go 70 miles an hour. Keep it at about 45.
Second half is underway, and here's who Scott Brooks has got on the floor. They've got J.J. Barea. Mason is out there with Ulis. Then it's Isaiah Thomas, and it's Van Vliet in at the 4 slot. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And for Isaiah Thomas going into free agency, what he thought might be a big payday opportunity was, Greg, anything but that.
A few years ago, he was talking about backing up the Brinks truck. Had to take a deal to prove he can still play. Has had a tumultuous past few years, but this deal could work out for the team if he can get back to form. And it's been a tough past season and a half for Isaiah Thomas. Traded from Boston to Cleveland and then once again traded to the Lakers. Rare to see a guy get traded twice in a season following an MVP caliber performance like he had back in 2017.
Mason against Harden. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots from 14. Cousins pulls it in. Cousins has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And it takes a certain team for Thomas to fit in with well. Wasn't the case, though, with the Cavs.
Yeah, Thomas is a point guard, not a pass guard. He's the guy that's going to look to score more than anything else. And it didn't quite work with the Cavs, but you put him in an up-tempo offense, that young man can flourish. Still young enough and is with a team more suited, I think, for his skills now. I bet he has a big bounce-back year.
Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. You look at the Bucks. They hold the first place spot in the conference just right where they want to be. They've got momentum. And, of course, there's Baltimore, 7 games back.
And, you know, for Baltimore, with the start they've had, they've taken what was such a hopeful preseason and turned the mood sour.
Can't remember the last time I've seen optimism turn to pessimism as quickly as I have with these guys. I mean, their fans are already talking about who needs to be replaced.
Clark, when you played, you were dominant inside. Are you surprised at how perimeter-oriented the game now has evolved into?
No, not really, Kevin, because of the three-point line and what it means. The game was created as a game of putting the ball in the basket. Initially, it was by getting the ball as close as you could to the basket with big guys with drives, and now with the three-point line, the shooting has become a premium, and it's really one of the great elements of the game for me, and I love the way folks are playing it now.
Defensive rules have sure made a big difference in this game, haven't they?
Yeah, great point.
Here is the list of players with the most boards in the league this month. The NBA's leading rebounders. 4th, DeMarcus Cousins.
He must be spending a lot of time in the weight room because he's shown such strength under the basket.
Mason kicks to Thomas. It's deflected.
Upping his intensity on the defensive end. Love to see that. Kuzma uses his length and athleticism to challenge and alter shots.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Perfect execution. That's how you take advantage of a transition opportunity.
And there's a minute 45 left to play in the third. Van Vliet looking around. He kicks it to Mason. No good with the triple.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass. You know, when I think of J.J. Barea, one of the words that comes to mind is fearless. I mean, he never hesitates to go right at big guys in the paint. Not afraid to force a tough pass through traffic. He's a very aggressive offensive player, and when you're as small as he is, sometimes that's the way you thrive.
And good that time. Cousins has got 10.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they have.
Thomas against Kuzma. It's tipped, and it's going to be out of bounds. Baltimore will retain possession. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Just 4 to shoot.
And they've got to get back to what they were doing in that first half. If they want to somehow win this game, the offense has gone stagnant.
The timing, the rhythm. Kuzma really does a nice job catching the defense off guard with those catch-and-shoot jumpers.
Mason kicks to Van Vliet. Baltimore moving that ball around. Ulis can't get it to go. Lakers leading by 15. Ingram outside. And here's Harden for 3. Good on the triple. 9 points in the game so far.
Just increasing their advantage. And right now, they're in a zone on both ends.
Yeah, you know, it's got to be terribly deflating for the opposition. Boy, they look helpless. Really getting beat up, physically and emotionally.
And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Served him up a tasty room service dime right there, boy.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. Ennis Cantor is out there with DeMarcus Cousins. Then it's Ingram. Then it's Harden. And it's Kuzma in at the 3. That's the Laker 5.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
Thomas's shot is off.
Like the shot selection. They couldn't cash in with no defense in the area, but still, they'll take that shot every day and for a month of Sunday. That was some slick passing from Harden on that one.
Baltimore shooting only 32% from the field. Plenty of signs of struggle by this offense today. Ulis kicks to Van Vliet. Mark, you've always been a student of the game. You've seen a number of guys do a great job of changing styles as they've gotten older in the game.
Yeah, that's always fun to watch. I think about Magic Johnson. I think about Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan.
Right.
You watch these guys, and there are a number of other guys, too. I mean, those come to mind pretty prominently. But again, it's about a concession to who you are for real, not who you used to be. And I love seeing guys play more on the ground when they were high flyers earlier, or add a jump shot when they were drivers. Those are neat evolutions to see.
And Baltimore calls time here.
And of course, we know about DeMarcus Cousins last season and the torn Achilles. I'm just glad to see him back out on the floor and fully recovered. He's put in a lot of work in terms of rehab to make sure that he could get back to doing what he does best.
And here's Barea outside. Rebound the Lakers. Kuzma's got 4 rebounds in this game. Cantor kicks to Cousins. Out to Kuzma. Second shot opportunity. Goes up again. Cantor's shot is off. And it's Thomas with the ball. He brings it up for Baltimore. They have yet to put up any points here in the fourth. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession. And with Cousins and that injury, never an easy one to come back from.
Yeah, it's true. But fortunately, Cousins has the kind of skill set that he's going to be effective no matter when he's on the floor. And great outside shot. The footwork, very smooth in terms of ball handling for that position. And most of the players who aren't the same after an Achilles tear don't have the same skill set that Cousins possesses. That's why I think he'll be fine once he recovers from this injury.
For Baltimore, they've gone 0 of 3 to start the fourth quarter. Correa, the pass to Thomas. 1:30 left in the fourth quarter. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Lakers.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year. Basket counts. Thomas got 4 points now in the quarter.
And that short area quickness really helps Thomas get his shot from mid-range.
Shot from the top of the key, and it's in after a nice bounce off the right side.
This is not the team we've been watching for most of the night.
Well, hopefully they can ride this momentum into the next game because this one is done. Over. Fine.
Here's Ingram. Ulis pulls it in. Here's Van Vliet. That shot no good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Harden kicks to Ingram. Correa against Cantor. Ingram dishes to Cousins. Ingram outside. Fires for three, but they recover it.
And they get it back again. I mean, how many rebounds offensively have they had? Everything's going right for them today.
So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean,
David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. For